Emily Glee Wilson, Michael Love's mother, was the sister of Mary and Murray Wilson, who had lived in Los Angeles since the early 1920s. In 1938, Glee married Edward Milton Love, the son of the Love Sheet Metal Company's founder. Mike Love, the first of their 6 children, was born in 1941 Los Angeles Baldwin Hills neighborhood. Following that, the family relocated to the affluent View Park neighborhood. He graduated from Dorsey High School in 1959. Unsure of his professional path, Love pumped gas and temporarily worked for his father's firm, which saw its fortunes plummet in the late 1950s. Milt and Glee Love were both athletes, and Love's younger brother Stan Love wanted to play in the NBA. Glee was passionate about painting and the arts. She, like her brother Murray, was strong-willed and, according to her husband, a domineering personality. The family was close-knit and socialized with Murray and his family on a frequent basis. Murray worked as a songwriter on the side. Love frequently sang at family gatherings at his cousins, the Wilsons' house in nearby Hawthorne, particularly around Christmas. Brian Wilson's vocal harmony coaching was crucial in developing the Beach Boys sound, which was significantly influenced by Brian's dedication to the arrangements of the 4 freshmen. The sole musical accessory during this formative era was Brian's self-taught piano, but this was quickly complemented by guitar contributions from Brian's college pals, Al Jardine, and his brother, Carl Wilson. Because Love Sheet Metal failed, the family was forced to relocate to a humble 2-bedroom house in Inglewood, closer to the Wilsons. In the early years of the budding garage band that grew from the Pendletons to the Beach Boys, Love played amateurish saxophone. He also established himself as a collaborator with Brian Wilson in the band's unique songs, alongside neighbor Gary Usher and local DJ Roger Christian. Love took inspiration for many of the Beach Boys songs from the lyrics of Chuck Berry, and also the people who penned many of the Everly Brothers songs, including Devote to You and All I Have to Do Is Dream. Brian Wilson steered the Beach Boys away from beach music in early 1964. At first, it seemed like Love was open to maturing the music a little bit. Heck, even came up with the album title of Pet Sounds for their best album in my opinion. But on the other hand, it's been rumored that he was opposed to the group's new path, even saying this famous quote,
"Don't fuck with the formula."
Over the years, this quote has appeared in a plethora of books, articles, websites, and blogs. Smile's demise, according to Brian, was not caused by Love's objections to the lyrics. Van Dyke Parks, a session musician, engaged Brian as the album's writer, however, accused Love for putting a halt to the project. Love rejoined Brian in co-writing the Beach Boys' December 1967 album Wild Honey, the group's first excursion into R&B. Following the Beatles' public support of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's Transcendental Meditation, TM for short, which is what I'll call it, in 1967, Love became one of many rock artists who found Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's teachings in late 1967. Love and his bandmates were captivated by the simplicity and the efficiency of the Maharishi's meditation approach as a method of reaching inner peace when they heard a talk by the Maharishi at a UNICEF Variety Gala in Paris in December of that year. The Beach Boys attended Maharishi's public performances in New York in January 1968, following which he asked Mike Love to join the Beatles at his training seminar in northern India. From February 28th to March 15th, Love stayed in India. Later in interviews, he has recalled assisting Paul McCartney with the lyrics to Back in the USSR, which was recorded for the Beatles' White Album in 1968. Whether he really did help, who knows? It could be a stretch, but let's continue. Love planned a concert tour in the United States with the Beach Boys and the Maharishi as co-headliners. The tour, which began in May 1968, terminated suddenly after Celebration, who had the top 30 hit single Almost Summer in the United States, which was co-written with Brian Wilson and Al Jardine. Looking Back with Love came out in 1981, which was his debut solo album. The Beach Boys scored a number 1 hit in 1988 with Kokomo, their only number 1 hit without Brian Wilson's involvement. Love, together with Kokomo co-writers Scott McKenzie, Terry Melcher, and John Phillips, were nominated for a Golden Globe Award in 1988 in the original song category, and was nominated for a Grammy Award for Kokomo. Love, along with other founding members of the Beach Boys that were still alive, were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1988. Love made a scathing statement during the induction ceremony, blasting Paul McCartney and Mick Jagger, among others. Love, Jardine, and numerous Wilson family members sued Brian for defamation in 1992, based on accusations made in his 1991 biography, Wouldn't It Be Nice, My Own Story. HarperCollins, the publisher, settled the matter out of court, awarding Love $1.5 million. It was one of several lawsuits filed by Love against Brian. Love won a court battle 2 years later to obtain what he thought legitimate authorship credit for several of the Beach Boys songs he co-wrote. Love was successful in arguing that Murray Wilson failed to acknowledge him for his early lyrical contributions to Brian's songs, depriving Love royalties. After Carl Wilson died in 1998, Love continued to travel with the Beach Boys along with Johnson and a backing band of new musicians, which sometimes include actor John Stamos. In a boredom agreement with the Beach Boys firm, he leaves exclusive rights to tour under the Beach Boys moniker. During this period, however, former bandmate Al Jardine had been traveling under the banners Beach Boy, Family and Friends, Al Jardine Beach Boy, and Al Jardine of the Beach Boys, and Love decided to sue him to prevent him from using any of those names, not just one, all of those names. The courts found in Love's favor in the dispute, denying Jardine any use of the Beach Boys moniker. Jardine then filed an appeal, demanding $4 million in damages in addition to the ruling. The California Court of Appeal then ruled that Love behaved incorrectly in shutting Jardine out of touring under the Beach Boys moniker, enabling Jardine to proceed with his complaint. The matter was eventually resolved out of court, with the details not being disclosed. The Beach Boys, An American Family, a two-part television miniseries that depicted the Beach Boys' tale, broadcast on ABC in 2000. Stamos created and it was panned for historical mistakes. Love served as a consultant on the picture. Some critics accused him of overstating his involvement in the group and portraying unflattering representations of Brian and Van Dyke Parks in the film. On November 3, 2005, Love filed a lawsuit against Brian and the British newspaper The Mail on Sunday for using the Beach Boys' name and picture on a promotional CD distributed free with the publication to promote the 2004 Brian Wilson Smile album. Love said that the band lost money as a result of the unimproved free CD. On May 16, 2007, the complaint was rejected on the grounds that it lacked merit. Love rejoined with Brian, Jardine, Johnson, and David Marks in 2011 for a new Beach Boys album and a 50th anniversary tour, which began in 2012. Love and Johnson stated in September of 2012 via a press release that following the conclusion of the reunion tour, the Beach Boys will revert to the Love-Johnson lineup without Brian, Jardine, or Marks, all of whom expressed astonishment. Despite the fact that such dates were mentioned in a late June issue of the Rolling Stone, it was widely rumored that the three had been fired. Good Vibrations, My Life as a Beach Boy, Love's autobiography, was released on September 13, 2016. He authored the book in reaction to many errors stated about him over the years, according to him. It was released 1 month before Brian Wilson's book, I Am Brian Wilson, a Memoir. When asked about the book's negative comments towards him, this is what Love had to say about it.
With Brian Wilson.
If it were Brian and I together in a room and there's a piano around, we could write a song. There's no issues there, but it's not that way because Brian's life is administered by, he has his own manager and agent, and his life is run by other people. So it's not just he and I. And so we did that tour together, and it was good from the standpoint of we were able to perform to a lot of people who wanted to see us together, and it was successful in that regard. But there were things done and the way in which it was done.
Love has not read Brian's book as of June 2021. Unleash the Love, Love's second solo album, was released on November 17th, 2017. Reason for the Season, Love's third solo album, was released on October 26, 2018. It includes both classic and original Christmas songs. And 12 Sides of Summer, Love's fourth studio album, was released on July 19, 2019. And as of June 2021, Mike Love is alive and well. He is starting to get back on the road. He's starting to tour again with the Bruce and Mike Beach Boys. So things are going well for Mike right now. He is still alive and doing well as of June 2021. And that's it right now. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Let me know who I should do next. If you want to see more Beach Boys related videos, there's a playlist in the link description below. I've already done Carl Wilson and Brian Wilson, and Mike Love's now the third Beach Boy I've done. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.